Hi, my name is Joe McCluskey. I'm a board member of the Impact Melanoma, have been for the last 6 years. We're at the Melanoma Golf Tournament at Black Rock. I believe this is my 21st year in a row. So just like we're going through today with COVID in this time of unrest in the country, it's very easy to protect yourself and protect others by wearing a mask, using hand sanitizer, keeping social distance. It's just as easy to protect yourself from the sun by putting on sunscreen when you're going to be outdoors. Any kind of UV protection, clothing, hats, those kinds of things also help. Especially in these times where fundraising is difficult, all you need to go to our website and click on the donate button, and every dollar counts. Whether it's a $1 donation or a $100 donation, it's going to help us spread the word.
My name is Paul Hutchinson, and I am part of the Impact Melanoma Golf Committee, and we are here at our annual golf event fundraiser. Golf fundraiser is all about awareness and bringing more people into the community to help raise funds for the Impact Melanoma Foundation. The Impact Melanoma Foundation spreads the word throughout the community about how important it is to safely protect yourself from the sun and ultraviolet rays. Impact Melanoma touches me personally. I had an uncle who passed away from melanoma about eight years ago now, and we have several instances of melanoma in our family history. We promote safety in the sun, enjoying your life. I mean, we all enjoy to play golf, we all enjoy being outside, but wear your sunscreen, wear your hats, wear your screens, and be safe, but enjoy your life.
My name is Scott Hazard, and I'm on the golf committee of Impact Melanoma. Education, awareness, reach. It's a great organization that's really found its stride and is making an impact nationally. So I'm very, very proud to be affiliated with them.
Hi, my name is Mary Lee McKay, and I'm here as a volunteer. And my husband, David, was a strong supporter of this group. He passed away about 4.5 years ago of a metastatic melanoma, and this is something that I feel that I can give back to all the support that he received, during his illness.
Hi, my name is Kathy Sonnenberg, and I'm from Walpole, Massachusetts. I was diagnosed with melanoma stage 3 9 years ago, and it was a scary time in my life, and I was Googling and I found all of their information they had online, and they really helped me through a difficult time in my life, so I wanted to give back to them. I want people to understand that it's a dangerous cancer. A lot of people just think skin cancer, you get it and you have it removed and it goes away, but melanoma is a lot stronger than that. It goes and it affects your organs, and it can go to your lungs and your liver and your brain, and the earlier you get diagnosed, the better chance of survival you have.
Doctor said that I had a 50% chance of living 5 years. That's pretty scary to hear,
And the doctor, he said, "I'm really sorry to have to tell you this when you're here alone, but you have melanoma."
When I heard the word melanoma, I thought,
shocked. I was sick to my stomach.
I think the room went silent.
Ugh.
My next thought was, oh my God, how bad is this?
I was just in full-blown hysterics.
Andy was crying, we were crying.
I was scared.
Really scared.
I was only 19.
21.
20.
I'm 16 years old, and I have melanoma.
My biggest fear that whole morning after I'd heard the news was then having to deliver the news to my mom and the rest of my family.
Of course, any parent's fear. They want to be able to watch their kid grow up.
He lost his battle on August 4th, 2009, age 27.
I just felt horribly guilty saying something that I've done for the last year has brought this on, and now we all have to deal with it.
That was the beginning of a very long, long road.
My name's Jim Weymouth.
And I'm Joan Weymouth.
And we're here today to volunteer for the Impact Melanoma Golf Tournament.
They're just really trying to truly make an impact, and I feel that they're doing a great job, and also feeling like for people like us that we can reach out to an organization that gives hope to others and makes us feel good that we're giving back to possibly help someone who may possibly be affected with melanoma.
Please donate. It's so important because the education that this small group of people that run Impact Melanoma, they have the outreach, they have through the sunscreen dispensers, just through their education now through the schools. It's such a organization that reaches out to so many people, but they could use all the help they can get, and it's important to get the word out there.
All right, hi, I'm Ken Driscoll. I'm a board member on Impact Melanoma here. Please donate, go to Impact Melanoma, help us raise the funds. I know that it's tough right now for everyone, but a little bit will go a long way, and this foundation is committed to educating folks, so if you can please join us and donate as much as you can.
My name is David Colella. I'm a board member of Impact Melanoma. I have a brother-in-law that had just had a number of operations with melanoma. I lost a very close friend to melanoma. And earlier on, my wife and I lost a dear friend as well. And after the event, they asked me if I would be interested in joining the board. I did. That was about 5 years ago. And I'm delighted to work with them and give any resources I have towards our campaign.
Ten,
9,
8,
7,
6,
5,
4,
3,
2,
1.
It's gonna be 1, I know it.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us for Impact Melanoma's first virtual Shades of Hope Gala. I'm Lisa Cohen, and I'm excited to co-host this year's event with my dear friend Sandra Levinson.
Thank you so much, Lisa. When you asked me to co-chair this year's event, I was thrilled. I've so enjoyed attending the gala the past few years.
We have an amazing event in store for you, but first, I want to start the evening off by thanking our fabulous host committee and our generous sponsors.
We are so grateful for their hard work and the excitement they've created, especially during this challenging time. I also want to thank my husband Norman for his amazing support in helping make this event a success, and to all of our donors and all of our guests. Melanoma prevention and early detection are very important to me. I'm truly excited to be involved in this organization.
As a dermatologist and someone passionate about melanoma prevention, Impact Melanoma has been a big part of my life for more than 10 years. Despite financial challenges with the pandemic, Impact Melanoma has had the unwavering support of loyal contributors, and I am so excited to continue the tradition of giving tonight.
Of course, this is not how we envisioned the gala when we started planning in early 2020, but this year has been anything but normal. I know you'll be incredibly inspired and moved as you watch tonight's messages of strength and positivity.
We have an amazing night planned with some inspirational stories, Keeper of the Hope award presentation, and a fabulous performance by Ziggy Marley. Have fun, please give generously, and thank you for your support.
And now we'll turn it over to our MC for the evening, TV and radio host Billy Costa, to kick off our program.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Sandra, for the introduction. As mentioned, my name is Billy Costa from KISS 108 and the Maddie in the Morning Show. Thrilled to be your MC again for the 2020 Virtual Shades of Hope Gala, coming live, by the way, from the fabulous Strata DX building here in beautiful Massachusetts, Lexington, Massachusetts. Now, let's face it, it looks a lot different this year, but the good news is we're still going to have an amazing night as we gather, or you gather, at home to support Impact Melanoma. Through all of the challenges we've faced in 2020, and let's face it, there have been so many, Impact Melanoma has been working tirelessly to provide programs and services that help prevent melanoma and give support to those going through a diagnosis. As most of you know, melanoma is one of the fastest growing cancers, and your support is needed more than ever. We've got a great program tonight. You're going to meet some truly special people. Lacey Adams is back to provide an update on her journey with melanoma. We're going to hear from Tom Whitney, a melanoma survivor and alumni team Impact Melanoma member, and our Keeper of the Hope presentation, recognizing, of course, Dan and Missy Abbott. And you don't want to miss our featured performance. How about this? We've got Ziggy Marley performing, okay? That is big. A few reminders before we get started, some tips on how to participate during the show tonight, so pay close attention. First of all, to register, text SHADES 2020 to 76278. You must be registered to bid or to donate. And to donate, you'll see at the bottom of your screen the text to give information. Text the word GIVE and the amount to 76278. And finally, to bid, you text the item number and amount to 76278. And you can also make a gift by visiting the event site shown at the bottom of your screen and clicking on, of course, the donate button. There is also a chat feature to say hello and let us know where you're watching from. And be sure to find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and follow Impact Melanoma if you don't already. We'd love for you to share photos of yourself watching tonight so we can see how you're celebrating. Use the hashtag Shades of Hope on social media. And be sure to check out our online silent auction, which, by the way, doesn't close until tomorrow at noon. That is critical. And you can access items on our auction site. We've got some great packages, like, for instance, in-home or virtual wine tasting with Jay Faber of Magnolia Wines, a very rare limited release bottle of 18-year-old Forager's Keep single malt. Oh boy. How about escape to Nantucket for a 2-night stay at the White Elephant, or UPF clothing extravaganza, and also skincare products and so much more up for grabs tonight. So be sure to take a look and get your bids in. And we also have our featured items tonight, which we will highlight in just a few minutes. How about an expedition to the Galapagos, a Nantucket home for an entire week, 7 nights, a cooking experience, and so much more. These items are open for bidding right now, but we will close down the biddings on the featured items at 10 o'clock tonight, so don't miss out. And as we get started, I would like to introduce you to Tom Whitney, who has had a personal experience with melanoma, and you'll hear how, well, he manages his own melanoma journey right here.
Hi, my name is Tom Whitney. I am 49 years old and I live just outside of Orlando in Central Florida. As you can tell by my little background here, that I enjoy the pool and I enjoy my lake. I have graduated from the University of Central Florida here, and my wife and I own an engineering company just outside of Orlando as well. I was at the gym one morning, which, you know, I've been going to the gym for several years, and I was looking in the mirror and I saw a spot on my left shin, and I thought it was unusual, but I watched it for a couple days and then it really blew up pretty quick. So I went to the dermatologist. I had her look at the spot on my shin, and she said, well, while you're here, would you like us to go ahead and do the full body screen? And I said, sure, go ahead. So she ended up taking a biopsy of the spot on my shin and then also a piece on the top of my head. 2 days later, I got a call saying the spot on my leg was squamous cell carcinoma, but the one on my top of my head was melanoma. And at the time, you know, I was like, okay, well, we can just burn it off, or, you know, what are you gonna do with it? She's like, well, that one's not quite so simple. You know, the one on my leg, they did it in the doctor's office there as an outpatient, but the one on my top of my head, she's like, you're gonna have to have full surgery. And that's when it really kind of hit me that I had cancer. Once I realized that I had melanoma and I found Impact Melanoma as one of the charities for Boston Marathon, I just knew that that was my way to make an impact, if you will, in the awareness of melanoma. I'd been a runner, and I have been a runner for many years, since high school, and I figured once I had my surgery and that I was hopefully okay and, you know, had clear margins and nothing had spread anywhere, and I was going to be able to continue running, that I was going to do whatever I could to educate people, to let them know that, you know, it's serious, because I had no idea. I had no idea it was as serious as it was. I found out in late 2018, in December of 2018, that a mole that I had on the side of my face, on my left temple, all of a sudden showed a little bit of a change. I had been going through quarterly screenings from the dermatologist. She took a sample of that one and found out that I had melanoma again. When I found out I had a reoccurrence, I was a little more anxious than I was the first time, because I knew more about melanoma and what the consequences could be if it wasn't caught early enough. And so I was a lot more anxious before the surgery. A lot of it had to do just because of the location of the surgery. You know, the first one was on the top of my head. You know, this one was on the side of my face. And, you know, I've got a scar that's going to be there for the rest of my life. That's, you know, everybody else says isn't noticeable, but it's a big neon light every time I look in the mirror. I see it, but it also reminds me every time I see it that I've got to be diligent about getting my skin screenings and making sure that if I do have something, another reoccurrence, that it's caught early. Really have been in the industry that I've been in is construction. And it's like, you know, look, I grew up here. I used to think that I was invincible. We grew up not putting suntan lotion on to protect your skin. It was to get a tan. I work outside in construction. You know, they don't think anything about it. And I tell them, I said, you know, look at the side of my face, look at the top of my head. This is the stuff that can happen to you if you don't take care of your skin, if you don't go and get checked. And I tell them, look, I'm a walking example of what you should be doing. And because I was negligent and ambivalent to the things that I was doing by not protecting my skin, these are the consequences that I faced. Although I got very, very lucky because mine were caught early and they had not spread yet. So if you're not going in and getting routine skin screenings, you should be doing it. And I know for a fact that there's at least 6 men in my industry, whether they were employees of mine, coworkers, or on the projects that I've been on, that have gone and gotten their skin checked just because of the testimony that I've had. I'm so grateful to Impact Melanoma to be able to share my story with you tonight, and just thank you for coming and thank you for supporting Impact Melanoma. They're doing great things for the awareness and the education of melanoma.
Thank you, Tom, for sharing your story. I mean, you have done so much, so strong, so much courage, which is so inspirational. But before I move on, I just want to let Tom know we've all been here discussing next year's gala. And Tom, we couldn't help but notice the picture behind you. My goodness, where do you live? We're having the gala next year, everybody, at Tom Whitney's house. I'm just kidding. Right now, I've got the pleasure of welcoming Executive Director of Impact Melanoma, Deb Gerard. Deb, great to see you.
Great to see you again, too, Billy. It's been quite a year, hasn't it?
Oh, my goodness.
When we started playing around with what this gala was going to look like, didn't look anything like this. But thankfully, we are so fortunate to have really wonderful sponsors who really have been the beacon of light in 2020. They've been such a tremendous support, and I'm really grateful for that. So I want to share a really important message that we're going to say 1,000,000 times tonight, but this is when we have to give the public health message. So I want you all to wear a mask, continue to social distance, wash your hands, and wear sunscreen when you're going out to enjoy the outdoors. And honestly, if you have any new or evolving lesion, please get it checked. We've heard from people across this country that they've been worried about going to a medical appointment due to COVID, and as a result, have skin cancer or melanoma not diagnosed at the earliest stage. So please remember, melanoma does not take a break for a pandemic. If you have a concern, call your dermatologist. They can work with you and get it checked.
You know, you were saying off air, Deb, earlier that so many people couldn't get to hospitals for a while. They couldn't get their treatment, so their conditions advanced.
Absolutely.
I mean, as if things weren't challenging enough. The pandemic makes it even worse, and that makes tonight even more challenging, and that's why we can't ask you folks, I can't encourage you folks enough to give throughout the night. We've got some fabulous featured items. The Galapagos are coming up. So get ready to bid on the Galapagos. That's a trip of a lifetime. Anyway, we're finding our way through this, and I'm really glad to be here to help raise the awareness and the funds that are really so desperately needed right now. So let's talk about these amazing featured items. And make sure you check them out on the actual auction site. Item number 1, Nantucket. Okay, now this is a 7-night stay in a luxurious home on the island of Nantucket from the Copley Group Nantucket Collection, with 2 round-trip high-speed ferry tickets as well. And by the way, homes available there offer 3 to 6 bedrooms and are thoughtfully designed with the environment in mind and are sophisticated and comfortable. So take a look at that one, a complete week on Nantucket. Item number 2 is Cool Cooking with Chef Stephen Coe. You and 5 friends, 6 people will gather virtually, as we are this evening, as Chef Stephen Coe, who, by the way, beat celebrity gourmet chef Bobby Flay on the show Chopped in the final round. So you know Chef Coe is the real deal. He will guide you in preparing a delicious meal, and by the way, the food and ingredients will be provided. Featured item number 3, Casa de Campo with golf. You enjoy an entire week stay in a gorgeous 2-bedroom condo within Casa de Campo in the Dominican Republic, and yes, including golf at either the Die-4 or Links course. And by the way, it also includes $500 toward airfare. That's a great trip. And by the way, keep in mind you put these packages away for the best time in your life to travel. You may not be able to do it now, but you can certainly do it down the road. You put these featured items in the bank, so to speak. Anyway, this is a fully stocked kitchen. You'll get a housekeeper. The condo has fabulous views of the marina and everything else, the beautiful ocean. And by the way, you can find out more about that property by going to plaza9.com. Now here we go, the item everybody's been waiting for. This is the trip of a lifetime. Explore the Galapagos. You will embark on a 10-day, 9-night expedition exploring the Galapagos Islands with Lindblad Expeditions aboard the fabulous National Geographic Endeavour 2. This, again, is a trip of a lifetime. And by the way, it's a small, intimate cruise with only 96 guests and 52 beautiful cabins. And the trip is valid. This is important. It's valid until December of 2022. It's the first time I've ever seen a trip to the Galapagos. Oh, wait a minute. This just in. Deb, this just in. This is important. Oh, look at this. We want to thank Terry Cockerham, the fabulous Cockerhams, for bidding, how about this, $10,000. 10 grand on the Galapagos. And we're just getting started. Whoa. We absolutely have to beat it. Anybody in the room want to go to the Galapagos? Now's the time. Anybody watching? And by the way, people are watching tonight from all over the country. Let's go to the Galapagos. I've got one more featured item. I brought it with me tonight. You get to join me on the Kiss Top 30 Countdown in the iHeart headquarters in Boston. This is cool. It's been a while since we've been able to bring guests into the studio lately, but I'm going to offer the experience because before no time, Deb, we'll be letting people in the building again. You get to bring 8 kids, okay, into the studio. I'll provide a pizza party, and this is not just a studio tour. I'll put the kids on the radio. And by the way, the Kiss Top 30 Countdown is heard all over the country, much like this program tonight. So thank you so much. Keep the bids coming. It's been an amazing night so far. It's only going to get better. How about this? We've got Ziggy Marley coming up real soon. So keep checking your bids. Remember, the silent auction will close tomorrow at noon, so you've got plenty of time to revisit your bids on the silent auction. And the featured items I just talked about will close 10 o'clock tonight. That's very important. Now, last year, we were honored to have Lacey Adams with us at the Gala to share her story with melanoma. Well, she's back to share an update and has a very important message for everybody to listen to. Check it out.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Shades of Hope Virtual Gala. Things have changed so much over the past year for all of us, and I hope you're all staying safe and sane as we finish out this crazy year. At the last gala, I talked to you about my past battles with melanoma, and Deb asked me to pop in and give you guys a quick update. First, let's start with the good news. We are all surviving quarantine and COVID. The kids and I are making the best of it, watching movies, binging Netflix, ordering pizza at midnight on what should be a school night. Unfortunately, Jerome doesn't get to join in the late night fun, but he's hanging in there too. He can't be here with you tonight, but he did ask me to pass along a message to you all. Just wear the dang mask already. Now for the hard part. Unfortunately, we found out that my melanoma is back. I had a PET scan in July, and they found a small tumor on my back. Since then, I've had surgery to remove it and completed about what feels like 800 scans to confirm that it has not spread to any major organs, which is fantastic news. However, I do have to start another year of immunotherapy at Walter Reed. I've already had the first one, and so far things are going okay. But we're just taking one day, one treatment at a time, and praying for the best. I have a confession to make, though. I had a clear scan in January, and then my tumor appeared in July. I should not have gone almost 7 months between my scans. As a melanoma survivor ×2, I was still supposed to be getting scanned about every 3 months. But like so many people, I put off my routine health care because of COVID. I do think I had some pretty good excuses, though. My kids were home all the time, suddenly, and it's harder to do anything for yourself. Also, we had been so good about quarantining that I really didn't want to go to a medical office during a pandemic for what I thought would be just a routine checkup. And finally, part of me just didn't want the chance of getting any more bad news this year. So this brings me to the real message I wanted to share with you tonight. We have to stay on top of our cancer screenings and our health, even during a pandemic. It is even more important to stay healthy right now. So stop putting it off and book that appointment. Our families need us, and by the way, this year's going, who knows what's coming next? So we ain't got time for melanoma to be slowing us down. Thank you again for letting me share my update, and I hope you all enjoy the awesome night that Impact has planned for us.
Lacey, thank you so much for your strength and, of course, the reminder that if you have a suspicious mole, you really need to get it checked. Deb said the same thing several times already. And this is cool. While we were in here, virtually, of course, Deb turns to me and said, hey, is anyone bidding? Because you have to understand, we're isolated. You guys are home, you're relaxing, you're with friends, you're all over the country. But we're all here, we're in a building, in a lobby of a building. Okay, so we're trying to stay in touch. Speaking of which, use the chat room. Okay, if you use the chat room, tell me what's going on. Who's with you? Where are you watching? Are you on a comfy couch? Are you serving a special meal, a dinner? Is there a cocktail? Yes. Is there a themed cocktail for the night? We want to be a part of your celebration. So, okay, before we start the Ginger Fund, I want to go to Tracy Cockerham, whose son Connor was taken from the world way too early, and her husband Scott Bohofer, who is president of the board of directors for Impact Melanoma.
Good evening, and welcome to our first ever virtual gala. We're so glad that you're here to join us this evening. In 2014, Impact Melanoma established the Ginger Fund in memory of our son, Connor Cockerham, who was fondly referred to as the Ginger his entire life. He was born with bright red hair that just seemed to get more and more red as he grew. Connor was first diagnosed with stage 1 melanoma in the spring of 2012, his senior year of high school. After 2 surgeries and numerous stitches from the reconstruction and the removal of the melanoma, he was declared cancer-free, and we were thrilled that he was able to start his freshman year of college as no evidence of disease. But melanoma is sneaky and had other plans. Less than 18 months later, he had a recurrence that was stage 4 when diagnosed. While melanoma did not present on the outside of his skin, it had metastasized inside and was present in every organ in his body except his brain and lungs. It was also in his bones. We tried every option available to us to save his life, but Connor succumbed to melanoma 2 months and 9 days later. The Ginger Fund was established in Connor's memory to help us expand our national footprint and continue our mission to reduce the incidence of melanoma by creating our Practice Safe Skin program, which is now available in all 50 states. And now, before we get into the Ginger Fund, my husband Scott, who's also our board president, is going to talk a little bit about a special program that we have going on in conjunction with the Ginger Fund tonight.
As you can imagine, this year has given us challenge after challenge. But as a board, we are personally driven to continue the life-saving work that Impact Melanoma has been doing for the last 21 years. And we aren't going to let a pandemic stop us. Our board members are some of our most passionate and dedicated donors. But in this time of crisis, we've agreed to go further, to share in this challenge of these tough times, which is why together, the board has created a matching contribution, the Challenge Fund. The fund was developed to inspire you, our most committed supporters, to dig deeper to help us meet the challenges of these tough times. The Challenge Fund will match your gifts dollar for dollar up to the first $75,000 raised in the Ginger Fund. I watched my wife, Connor's father Jerry, and Connor's siblings, Nick, Hannah, and Christian, go through something so devastating that I can't describe it with words. Our wish is that no family ever have to endure this kind of pain. We may not end melanoma tonight, but with your generous support and this match, we might just get one step closer to doing so.
Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Scott, for your dedication, for your commitment to eradicating this disease. And they alluded to a $75,000 match, Deb?
Yes. We have an amazing board of directors. And this year, our board of directors felt passionately about what we needed to do to get through this crazy time and have donated up to $75,000 as match in the Ginger Fund tonight. So every dollar that you give to the Ginger Fund up to the first $75,000 will be matched by our board. So please give generously.
All the more reason we all need to give right now. This is, by the way, the most important part of the entire night, the Ginger Fund. It's an opportunity to directly support the work of Impact Melanoma. As you heard, they've had to shift, and your support is needed more than ever. So let's show Tom and Lacey and Tracy and Scott, who have demonstrated amazing strength and courage, that they're not alone in this fight. And by the way, again, thank you for sharing your stories. As Tracy mentioned, funds raised will support all of Impact Melanoma's programs and services, which offer free educational programs about sun safety, early detection and prevention of melanoma, as well as offering support to patients and their caregivers. Similar to our in-person events, we've established different levels, so please give what you can, because every amount makes a difference and, by the way, is greatly appreciated. So let's raise some money. Let's match the $75,000 here, Deb. We're going to start optimistically with a $5,000 donation. If you're watching, Deb, $5,000, what could that mean?
So it's time for you to sponsor 5 sunscreen dispensers for your community. This will include sunscreen, message boards, educational material for a community of your choice. Think about slathering 80,000 people with sunscreen. Wow. This is an opportunity to provide a personal message or your logo on a dispenser so that the community will know your commitment to sun safety.
Now, if we were in a ballroom and doing the gala under normal circumstances, everybody would be at their tables raising their cards. I'll give 5,000, I'll give 5,000. We can't do it that way this year, but we still can do it. So anybody out there looking to give $5,000, do it right now. And while you do, I'm going to move on to $2,500. Deb, $2,500, tell them what it could mean.
So $2,500, you can sponsor a program that we just love called No Sun for Babies. You can sponsor to 5 medical centers across the country. This program provides a piece of sun protective clothing for a newborn and sun protective messaging for new parents. We hope that it sets them up to make sun protection a priority throughout their lives.
I see the virtual cards going up all over the country right now. I'll give $2,500, I'll give $2,500, no, I'll give $2,500. But we're going to move on to $1,000 now, and Deb, $1,000 can mean a lot.
It can mean a lot. It can provide some really amazing education. Please be a sponsor for a melanoma symposium in collaboration with a hospital-based melanoma program, providing information about treatment and support options for melanoma patients and caregivers struggling with the disease.
And we're not done. Keep those $1,000 donations coming. Please, I beg. I want to see a lot of cards in the air, so to speak. And we'll move on now to $500. Deb, $500. Break it down for them.
So for $500, you can help us sponsor a public service announcement raising awareness about the importance of maintaining regular skin cancer screening even during COVID and after. So the more messaging we get out, the better we do. So please give generously.
And by the way, while you're giving your donations, keep in mind that $75,000 match. Imagine, boom, we can double it just like that. Now, how about $250, Deb?
So for $250, you can sponsor a melanoma support group and you can donate to our Billy's Buddies support program. This is a really wonderful program that has been around for several years, and we are able to provide financial assistance to melanoma patients and their families for things that they cannot get funded in other places, as well as a platform for all of our support groups that are now virtual anywhere in the country.
Awesome. Okay, we've got one more increment. It's $100. Imagine this. We're all over the country right now. People from all over the country could give $100. Think about how quickly that could add up. And $100, Deb, what are we talking here for $100?
May is Melanoma Awareness Month,
There
and
you
we're
go.
already planning for May of 2021. This is an opportunity to support a social media campaign called Stay Safe and Slather on the Sunscreen. So please help us move this right through the country.
Yeah, tell everybody. And by the way, thank you to everybody that's donated so far tonight. I hope to see a lot of those sunscreen dispensers all over America. And by the way, a reminder, if you haven't given yet, that's okay. I know you're relaxing. You might be having a bite to eat, sipping some wine, but please text the word GIVE and the amount you want to give to 76278 to make a donation, or you can make a donation on the event site. As we've said, any amount you can give will make a difference. We've got a lot of people involved tonight, so the smallest amount could add up big. And if you've already given tonight, obviously, thank you. And don't forget, you can still bid on the silent auction items as well as the featured items. I need to point out, though, the featured items are going to shut down at 10 o'clock. Silent auctions are going to stay open until noon tomorrow. We're getting a lot of bids. As of 5 or 10 minutes ago, I know we had a $2,000 bid on the two-night stay at the White Elephant. Beautiful. White Elephant is premier on the island of Nantucket. Deb, always great to be with
Thank you, Billy. You
always.
too.
And all the supporters of Impact Melanoma tonight. Yeah, it's different, but I think it's working. And think of it, you never had to leave the house. You never had to get a babysitter. You didn't have to pay for a parking space or a parking garage. And yet, we're all still celebrating and raising support and money for an important cause that you have been a part of for so long. Now, I know a favorite part of the gala every year for Impact is presenting the Keeper of the Hope Award with Kathy and David Donahue. When planning the virtual gala, it was important for you to keep this tradition. So recently you met with the Donahues to present the award to the honorees and shared your thoughts on what has transpired over the last 8 months and how Impact Melanoma has met the challenge we are all facing. So let's hear more right now.
I wanted to take a minute and personally thank you all for joining us tonight. The need for our programs and support has not changed, and together, I know we can do anything. I also want to acknowledge our Shades of Hope host committee, who's done such an amazing job. And a special thank you to our event co-chairs, Dr. Lisa Cohen and Sandra Levinson, who you heard from earlier this evening. Their leadership has motivated us and helped bring this virtual gala into your homes tonight. I'd also like to give a shout out to our loyal and talented staff, Amy Mason, Teresa Deere, Tracy Sconiers, Lori Seavey, Sarah Goodman, Amber Ostry, and Kelly Braga. I know you have all worked harder than you ever have, and I'm grateful for all you do. Over the last few months, our world has changed dramatically, and we've had to adapt. Stay strong and continue providing the crucial services and programs that so many rely on. During the pandemic, families have been spending more time outside, and the need for prevention and education around skin cancer and melanoma has never been greater. As we head into this winter season, it's critical to spread the message that sun protection needs to happen year-round. Part of education and prevention during this time is making sure that everyone with a suspicious mole gets checked. There are options, and as we heard from Lacey, we cannot wait. In May, during Melanoma Awareness Month, we debuted a live virtual series, which included a session on self-skin checks and telehealth tips. This allows everyone at home to practice safe skin. Check it out at any time on our website. Support services have also been heightened at a time when many have felt isolated and alone. We quickly moved our support groups to a virtual platform so that we could continue to be the go-to resource for patients and loved ones in need of information, guidance, and compassion. Even through these difficult times, we have continued our mission to bring our toolbox of programs into communities around the nation. We have expanded our Your Skin is In school-based program, available in every state in the nation, especially now, when kids are often in remote settings. Our e-learning program gives practical information about the importance of sun safety with an interactive curriculum that meets all educational standards. Through our Practice Safe Skin program, we've supplied free sunscreen to over 6.2 million people since 2017. And during this pandemic, we've slathered 400,000 people with sunscreen. We've also been able to pivot the delivery of our Skinny on Skin program with our partners at Face and Body, a trade association for beauty professionals. By providing a virtual session on skin cancer prevention, we were able to deliver the program to more participants than ever. Your support tonight means we can continue to grow into new communities and to help change behavior around skin safety and support those struggling with this disease. It means that we can continue to innovate and launch new programs that promote early detection and significantly reduce the cases of melanoma through awareness and prevention. Thank you for your belief in us and for your generosity tonight. As Billy mentioned earlier, one of my favorite parts of the evening is the Keeper of the Hope Award presentation. It's an important part of our gala. The Suzanne Donahue Keeper of the Hope Award, named in loving memory of Suzanne Donahue, a young woman who died from melanoma in 2012 at age 40. Suzanne was gracious and giving. She reminded all of us about the power of giving back, no matter what your circumstance. Each year, Impact Melanoma's board presents the Keeper of the Hope Award to a member of our Impact community whose generosity, vision, and commitment to the organization over time is unwavering. I would now like to introduce Kathy and David Donahue, Suzanne's parents, to present tonight's award.
Good evening to all of you viewers tonight. Melanoma has been our most disliked word since our Suzanne first encountered it. Now we realize that COVID has been added to that awful list for many of us. We can't imagine what it's like for those dealing with this dreaded melanoma during these stressful times that require so many safety protocols which separate patients from their supporters and limit how we share the message of skin and sun safety. Now more than ever, the mission of Impact Melanoma is critical, helping those that are affected, getting information out to key populations on how to detect melanoma and thereby avoid more individuals becoming a melanoma statistic. It continually amazes us how the dedicated team at Impact, led by our energetic Deb Gerard, have jumped through more and more hoops to bring their countrywide message of sun and skin safety to so many. Congratulations to you for your tireless work that is appreciated by all of us. Deb has said that the energy of wonderful individuals like Dan and Missy Abbott have helped fuel the team's resolve to continually ramp up the expectations and goals of Impact Melanoma's mission.
Dan first heard that awful melanoma word in his dermatologist office in 2017. Not long afterwards, Dan and Missy became involved with the Impact Marathon team. Missy has been instrumental in bringing sun safety awareness to the school district where she teaches. Both have jumped in to do whatever they can think of to support our organization. Dan's mother has even helped with their event cookie sales. The Abbott's enthusiasm for getting involved with these events that are critical to the success of Impact Melanoma is why they have been chosen for our Suzanne's Keeper of the Hope Award this evening. As Suzanne said in her 2011 letter, join me in ensuring that the messages about awareness, education, and early detection are widely and broadly communicated so that no one has to endure a late-stage diagnosis, and those of us dealing with such a diagnosis have the means to get the help we need to cope with it. Now, more than ever, our friends and families need that help. Thank you all who have traveled with us many years and the support you have given to Impact Melanoma to make the future brighter for so many. And especially tonight, we thank Dan and Missy for your role in the success of this organization. We are delighted to virtually award you this well-deserved acknowledgement of your outstanding support. Congratulations.
Missy and I wanted to thank Impact Melanoma for this award. We're honored to be a part of this charity. Again, thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Melissa Abbott.
Hi, I'm Dan Abbott. I'm a melanoma survivor, so I'm all about the earlier you can get screened or checked, the better, because survival rate at an early stage is a lot better than survival rate at a later stage. So for me, it's huge for people to understand the importance of sunscreen, self-skin checks, early skin detection, stuff like that. Go see your dermatologist. Mine was on my back, which a lot, unless you have a mirror, a lot of people don't see them. I was in the dermatologist's office for a regular skin check, and I had a mole on my stomach that was some concern. But I think it's important, obviously, a spouse, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, have them check for the areas that you can't see, because those are the ones that are surprising, and especially for men. I think the statistic says that the majority of men find theirs on their back.
Yeah, I think too, from my perspective, to be honest, I didn't even go with him the day of the surgery. Like, to me, it was like, oh, it's just a mole getting removed. And literally, I remember telling a coworker, what did I do? I didn't go to my own husband's surgery. I should be there. This is a big thing. And it didn't sink in till the day of how severe this could turn into. So I think that's again where it can be so overlooked by many people. We haven't shared with our son about Dan's story, but we have shared with him about melanoma. We talk all the time to him about protecting our skin, and we need to wear a hat, and we need to wear the long sleeves at the beach and the rash guards and things like that. I think the best things for him is when we have events, he will hand out to people that come up to our table. He'll hand them the UV bracelet and he'll hand it to them and say, here you go. This is to remind you need to put your sunscreen on. And it turns purple to remind you of that. And he's 5 years old, and he knows and is already aware that this is something he needs to do. He'll remind grandmas and grandpas sometimes, I need to put my sunscreen on, so I think that he sees and already knows at such a young age the value and the importance of protecting his skin.
So it's a family
event.
It's a family Christmas event every year since I can remember. We bake cookies every year at Christmas, and when I decided to commit to run Boston with Impact, I thought, well, maybe it would be fun to have a bake sale at Christmas. Since we're already making the cookies, we'll just make a few extra dozen. And that turned into way bigger. It ended up doubling what we normally do. So I think we made 190 dozen cookies that year.
Yeah.
And we sold an awful lot of cookies.
This past year, we moved to actually a kitchen. It was a great family tradition before, and now to add in just another way to support melanoma has been a neat thing.
my passion, it still is running. I've always wanted to run Boston, and I am not quite fast enough to qualify, which probably is a good thing, because if I would have been or am fast enough, I might not have found impact melanoma. So it really turned into this thing where it's like, well, now I can tell people about it, and there's some good that will come of it, and hopefully other people. I mean, we know several people here in Pennsylvania, a couple of our close friends in town that just from hosting, they've gone to see their dermatologist to get skin checks. I golf with a gentleman who had stage 4 melanoma, and he's actually doing very well now. And he did immunotherapy, which is kind of a newer treatment. And he's out golfing again and doing, as far as I can tell, doing well, which is exciting.
I think so. Sorry, I had a lady stop me on the side of the road when I was running, and never knew who she was. Just an older lady, and she just said, "Thank you for what you're doing." Sorry. I think that tells me that we've made a little bit of impact.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a great honor, to be honest. To be recognized for bringing attention to something that to us has just impacted us. At first I think it was just something small, it impacted our lives and made us think about things, and now we can do the same thing for other people. It's just a blessing, and a great feeling to have, to know that we would be recognized in that way.
Deb, let me ask you something. How cool are Dan and Melissa Abbott?
They're the best.
What a story. They're in Pennsylvania, right?
They are, and most recently Dan came back to play in the golf tournament. He speaks for us at so many places. We are just over the moon with how wonderful they are. They are the supporters that they just keep on giving, and we are so incredibly grateful for their support.
And we know Dan and Melissa are watching because I happened to get a message from Dan Abbott. Earlier in the night I said, hey, let us know what you're doing, where you're watching, what you're having for dinner while you enjoyed the program. It so happens, Dan, go get him, Dan. He's making smashing pumpkin cocktails.
Excellent. Enjoy, Dan, and have one for us.
Yeah, it wouldn't kill you, Dan, to send us a couple of smashing pumpkin cocktails. And really good news, Deb. We've had a lot of activity on the featured items as well as the silent auction items. For instance, let's go to the Ginger Fund first. Amy Walls gave $5,000.
Yes.
Thank you, Amy. And Lisa Cohen gave $5,000. So thank you, Lisa, as well. Shout outs to Francis Deere for a $500 donation in the Ginger Fund. And I know a lot of other people did, but we're doing our best here, okay?
And just keep it coming.
Here's some good news on the silent auction item, the 2-night stay at the White Elephant on Nantucket. By the way, it would be an awesome 2-night stay. There's a bidding war.
I love it.
Which is very cool, and it's going on between Ken Driscoll and Jill Mavro. So keep the war going.
Keep the war going.
It's a friendly battle. Just
Here
in.
Here comes Amy.
Amy Walls and George Liss have offered to donate their home twice.
So this is the Provincetown house for a week. We have a bidding war going on, and so we will have an opportunity for our 2 highest bidders to have an opportunity for a week in P-Town. So keep those bids coming, and you can enjoy a really fabulous week.
And this is awesome that everybody's stepping up to the plate, because let's face it, we've said it several times, talk about a crazy year, 2020, and it's never been more challenging than these times right now to raise money and make things happen, especially for impact melanoma. Deb, talk about the sunscreen tower. This is a pretty cool thing. I haven't seen it.
So our sun safety station in Boston, we have one at City Hall Plaza during the summer that's sponsored by Mass General and the Brigham. It's for sunscreen dispensers plus sunscreen that are built as a tower that has an umbrella, and it's just a beacon that people see it and say, I'm very close, let's go put some sunscreen on. Most importantly, you're doing a great thing for the community by helping us fund these, but it's an amazing marketing tool. Think about your company's logo on the top of that umbrella, or, you know, in the faceplate of one of these machines. So it's a really important marketing tool, and you're giving back. It's a whole lot better than a lot of marketing things that you can do.
Is there somewhere people can go to find out where it's going to be or something in advance? Or
Sure, we post where our sunscreen dispensers are, and we have them all over the country. Currently, there are 3,500 dispensers around the country that are brought to communities, municipalities, and companies through Impact.
All right, we've got more good news. Now, earlier in the night, we said we were going to close down the featured items at 10 o'clock tonight. We've had so much activity. We've got bidding wars going on and everything. So we're going to keep those featured items available until noontime tomorrow. And the silent auction, of course, is already going to stay open until noon. So
and we'll leave the Ginger Fund open as well, because we really want to maximize what we can do to support our board.
Yeah, and whether you want to give $5,000 to the Ginger Fund, or $2,500, or $1,000, or $500, or $250, or $100, keep it coming, okay? You know what? I can't encourage enough. Have another glass of wine.
And a smashing pumpkin.
Or a smashing pumpkin cocktail. And before you know it, you'll be giving another donation. You'll start giving us money you don't even have. And we're okay with that. So congratulations. This has been an amazing night of inspiring stories, compassion, strength, through the generosity we've witnessed tonight and the hard work of Impact Melanoma. They can achieve great things. It's truly been an honor to be a part of this special night. And although we couldn't do it like we usually do, I think we really hit it off. I think we hit a home run. I truly feel the deep appreciation, the dedication you have for Impact Melanoma and its mission to ensure early detection and prevention is just going to crush it. So tonight, we've captured the essence of what we can achieve when we all work together. So again, if you haven't given, there's still time. Text the word GIVE and the amount to 76278 to make a donation. And remember, bidding remains open on our silent auction until noon tomorrow, and on the featured items until noon tomorrow, and as it happens, on the Ginger Fund until noon tomorrow. Just go to hashtag Shades of Hope. You'll get everything you need. Thank you, everyone, for your support of Impact Melanoma. Deb?
And please don't forget, it's going to be your mantra. Wear a mask, wash your hands, social distance, lather on that sunscreen, and don't forget to get your skin checked. All right, now I'd love to introduce
this is big.
The talented Ziggy Marley. Good night, everyone, and enjoy the performance.
Good night.
What a great night for Impact Melanoma. Thank you for joining us. I am so glad to be a part of this evening and this great cause. We're here to have some fun, listen to some music, and support Impact Melanoma. So let's get going. This is Three Little Birds. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is gonna be alright. Every little thing is gonna be alright. Rise up this morning, smile with the rising sun. of this morning, smiling with the rising sun. 3 little birds pitched by my doorstep, singing sweet songs, melodies pure and true. Oh, this is my message to you. Don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is gonna be alright. Yeah. Hey, now life has come a long way since yesterday. I say, and it's not the same old thing over again. I say, now do what you feel, don't you fool yourself. I say, 'cause I can't make you happy unless I am. I say, I got to be true to myself. Come on now, got to be true to myself. Hey, got to be true to myself. What you say? Got to be true to myself. Day in, day out, I've asked many questions. I say, only to find the truth, it never changes. I say, if you don't deal with it, it keeps killing you little by little. I pray now. Call me selfish if you will, my life alone can live. I say, hey, got to be true to myself. I've got to be true to myself. You've got to be true to yourself. You've got to be true to yourself. I don't care if it hurts. I'm tired of lies and all these games. I've reached this point in life. Yo, no longer can I be this way. Don't come crying to me. You see, I too have shed my share of tears. I'm moving on. Yes, I'm grooving on, Lord, 'cause I'm finally free. I've got to be true to myself. 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 Thank you very much.